long way, we've come to Tipperary. We're looking at a project similar to ours in Ireland. The village recently got planning permission for their EcoVillage project.
I'm the business manager of this EcoVillage development here in Cloughjordan in North Tipperary in Ireland. This is a stage whereby we're trying to turn out the greenfield area out there into a serviced site, 132 service site development.
There's now 13 households from our project living in the village of Cloughjordan, 2-3 years before the project actually arrives in force. And they're already setting up shops in the main street. This is a main street that's been, over the last 20 years, really dying.
Now, since we moved here, there's a hardware store, there's my shop, coffee shops opening up. And who knows, you know, there's a yoga class now, there's a dance class. Now there's other facets being brought in, you know, to tiny little Cloughjordan.
The house to the right of us is the pub that's being knocked for the entrance into the EcoVillage. The house to the left of us is the Eco Office and is owned by the EcoVillage. And all the land behind us is the EcoVillage. And I remember saying to my husband one day, you know, it's like this now, you know, either we settle into this and everything's going to be okay, or the only other way for us is the road because we're surrounded.
The issues that were raised by local people in Cloughjordan seem to be fairly universal when looking at new EcoVillage projects. So
we identified a 67-acre farm that comes right into the main street of the village, so that the project connects right in, and we're actually turning what is a T-junction just now into a crossroads, which will allow complete just integration and access to the local community.
Hey, we're a village of 500 people, but we've got 3 churches and a meeting room. That doesn't hold us together. Sports are all over the place. There's no one thing to hold Cloughjordan together, only that we're Cloughjordan. Whereas you've got this whole EcoVillage thing, whatever it is, holding you together, and you're all organised, and you could do anything to us.
A lot of the concepts behind EcoVillages are fairly radical ideas. Understandably, they bring up a lot of fear for people.
The word eco, anything, EcoVillage, they just saw eco-warriors and saw dreadlocks and we were going to come down and chain ourselves to the trees or whatever. So we had to dispel these sort of myths that we were, you know, different in a way. And we had all sorts of people, old people, young people, families, individuals.
The fears and the apprehension were massive in the beginning. Of these people that were going to come and they were going to destroy our village and they were going to take over and they were going to do all these horrible things to us. And it was only by us talking and slowly chipping away our apprehensions and fears and realised that, hey, you know, these were pretty cool people, you know. So much so to the point that, wow, I know we live in Cloughjordan, but, you know, we wouldn't mind living in this eco project.
World economic circumstances have sort of caught up with this development, and you know, everything that we were talking about 5 years ago and seemed to be a little bit lunatic are now all mainstream. It's all for mainstream discussion in the media. Sustainability, renewable energies, you know, going back to the old ways of sharing skills, downsizing, less use of fossil fuels. This is what we were talking about 5 years ago. We were supposed to be mad.
The Irish village is just beginning, but Findhorn in Scotland is famous for its community and runs courses for eco-villagers. I was keen to see what they had to share with me.
I like a lot of the things round about here, but you know, it has to be said that it's not everything isn't perfect. You know, and that also has to, I think you have to recognise that as well, because there's quite a lot of people that might wander around thinking that everything's all perfect and rosy, but it's just like anywhere else. It has its little, but it's just how you deal with that.
We started here exactly where we are, you know, with that caravan there. And from there, we didn't own the land. Because we didn't own the land for many, many years, we just could have caravans. So experiments like Findhorn and Lammas, they are very important because they are laboratories at the same time they can provide a refuge.
Originally, I came to improve my English, to live in Scotland, because I love this country and hiking in here. and to live in an international community. And I've worked as a gardener for many years here now, so I've grown totally attached to the land, and just it gives me deep joy. And there's so many things in place here of how we are with one another, sitting in a circle, making decisions together, that I feel very touched.
I choose to live at Findhorn because I love living amongst people who are all interested in engaging to the level I want to engage. Daily life, for that reason, is very intense, quite challenging at times, but I want to live that way. I don't want to live in some mindless, sort of remote control sort of universe. I want to be aware.
We live within one of the most celebrated eco-villages. Even here there's a lot of misunderstanding, so still people here in the community refer to the eco-village as being where the houses are. My own favourite answer when people come to me asking to see the eco-village, they want to see the windmills and the living machines and the insulation, and my preferred answer is it's invisible, meaning that really it's much more about the way we relate to ourselves, to each other, to the land, to the community. That is at the heart of it, really. The task of building eco-villages is rebuilding the fabric of community. And when we can get that right, the rest follows.
What we're doing here is the first day of the Lammas Low Impact Building course. The purpose of this is to empower people, I would say, who may feel that they really want to live a low impact lifestyle but have never really considered themselves able, for one reason or another, to build their own house. And so it obviously can't teach all the skills of building your own house in 4 days, but you can get people over that first ledge of thinking, well, I could, if I, this is what I need to study, and I could do this, and I could maybe organise to do with other people to do it.
Incorporate it in the house.
If the whole of mankind got a grip, we could actually do anything we wanted to. There's people living in roundhouses all over Africa, today, and Asia. It's not that different. It's only different if you look at our culture, which insists on boxes. So like you wake up in your box bedroom, you go downstairs to your kitchen, you listen to the news coming from a box, you get into a box and drive it to work, you go up in a box, which is called a lift, you walk along the corridor, you've got a bit of a break there from a box, except it's a box cross-section, you walk into your office, and then you turn on the computer, and that's a box, then you come home at night in the box, or train, which is a box, and then you turn on the box. People don't realise how it affects your thinking and way of being, and it's actually quite recent. And so it's worth at least experimenting, not living and not working and not watching boxes too much, because we haven't evolved that way. We've evolved with more natural shapes. And so when you do live in a natural shape, you find that just simple things are more enjoyable, I think.
It may be easier to live in a box forever, but perhaps it's more fulfilling to live outside the box.
The Centre for Alternative Technology started in